Have you ever asked the question, why isn't this working? I do that all the time when it's something electronic. Like, why isn't this working? And I'll have to reboot or unplug or like hit something or blow into the cord or whatever it is. Sometimes I'll ask that of my car. Why isn't this working? And I never feel less manly than when I pop my hood and have no clue how to do anything underneath. Why isn't this working? I sometimes ask that of my parenting. When I thought I knew what I was doing. And yes, sometimes I ask that of things like revelation. In spiritual areas, why isn't this working? Why aren't answers coming more quickly or clearly? Why? I hope I'm not alone in this. If this is totally irrelevant to you, then just bear with me and humor me for these last few minutes. But if this is relevant to you too, then turn to section 9. Because I don't know of a better single section of the Doctrine and Covenants or better revelation in Scripture that helps us understand when spiritual things don't seem to work. What are some possible explanations? In fact, when I was proposing to my wife, notice I didn't say when I proposed. That suggests only one attempt. Proposing, yeah, I attempted for 7 months before she finally proposed to me, and I said yes the first time. Okay, it was a long process because she was seeking revelation. She was seeking something in the mind and the heart that would set her at ease that yes, we could be married. My answer to marry her came quickly because it was her. She's amazing. Her answer to marry me, I'm an acquired taste. And so she was hesitant. But there were times that we both wondered, why isn't the answer coming? Now, I remember at some point in that long process studying section 9 of the Doctrine and Covenants, and it hit me with full force. This is the answer to why you're not getting an answer. Now, I'm only going to show you a couple of verses. In your case, please read every one. In verse 7, behold, you have not understood. And that can be painful, but a good thing to realize is there's something about this process I don't quite get. What am I not understanding? Here's the answer for Oliver. You have supposed that I would give it unto you when you took no thought save it was to ask me. Well, but you said you'd give if I asked, right? Ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock, it shall be open unto you. You repeat that one pretty often. Oh, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God. That's all Joseph did, right? Oh, actually go back and reread Joseph Smith history and notice all the work he did, all the agency he exercised on the way to seeking inspiration he could not drum up on his own. In your case, Oliver, it's going to need to be similar. You have work to do. Here's another contrary to prove: agency and inspiration. Don't underestimate my willingness to give you inspiration, but please don't underestimate your need to exercise agency. You got some homework, son. So let's get that homework done. And if you do it, notice verse 8. Behold, I say unto you that you must study it out in your mind. There's your half, the homework half. Then you must ask me if it be right. Now, I'll pause there and pick up where I left off in just a second, but here's the homework. Again, we're at this thing together, okay? There's going to be some divine synergy between heaven and earth. I need you to be involved in the process if it's ever going to change you. So don't be surprised if you see human and divine fingerprints all across the restoration, including on the pages of Scripture. I want you to think through things. I want you to come up with answers and exercise faith enough to go forward in them. If you're wrong, I'll pull you back, okay? But this thought of studying it out in your mind and then asking, that came like a revelation to my wife when she finally realized, I'm not deciding. I don't want to. Marriage is too scary. I don't want to choose. I just want to obey. I've learned that one. I'm ready to do anything God asks. You tell me to marry him, and yes, I will do it. And then God was up there going, whoa, 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 no, I don't play that game. Because what happens if marriage gets hard? You're going to shake your fist heavenward and go, you're the one that made me get married to this guy. No, no, no. I let you choose. I let you decide first. And when you presented your decision to me, yes, I confirmed it. Because it's a good decision. It was good then. It's still good now. If you'll still live into it. But your problem is you weren't choosing. You keep saying, oh, I just want to lay my will on the altar so I can do God's will. But laying your will on the altar means you had a will to begin with. You decided, and I'm ready to go. I've heard it said that we need to work like an atheist and then pray like a saint. Atheists make decisions too. They never pray about them. So how does an atheist make up their mind? By doing their homework, by studying it out in their minds and weighing the pros and the cons and asking friends for advice and doing everything they need to. Well, minus one, asking for divine confirmation. Well, we're not atheists, unfortunately. That's good news. But the bad news is we tend not to work like an atheist. We only pray like a saint. And we haven't come up with a decision on our own part first. I sometimes describe it in this way to my students. Imagine you're in your math class and it's an exam going on and you're close with the professor. And so you come up with your answer and then you raise your hand, the professor comes over and you're like, hey, just between you and me, is this right? I mean, I did the homework myself. I'm not trying to cheat here, but did I get the right answer? And instead of the professor saying yes or no, they just look at you with this poker face and say, are you ready to turn in the exam? And you're like, I don't know yet. Let me double check my work. Good idea. Let's say you double check it and you got the same answer. Is this right? Are you ready to turn in your exam? You're not going to tell me. I think I am. I'm confident enough in the homework that I've done. Now that I know you're not just going to give me the answer or just make it easy on me to say, yep, that's exactly what it's supposed to be. Before I've exercised faith enough to turn in the exam, I am going to exercise that faith. I am confident enough in my homework as I've double checked it and studied it out. Yeah, I'm going to turn it in. If I don't get confirmation, this is how I'm going to move forward with faith. And the Lord's like, finally, good. Turn it in. And I can tell you, even before grading it officially, yes, you got it right. But you had to have the confidence in the work that you had done. It had to be yours, truly. So Oliver, study it out and ask me if it's right. And the answer will come. How will it? That's where the end of verse 8 comes in. If it is right, I will cause that your bosom shall burn within you. But please don't stop there. Too often, that's the only criteria we hold on to. You got to have this burning in the bosom. But keep reading, and here's a much broader version. Therefore, you shall feel that it is right. Some people, the whole burning bosom thing doesn't really work. But feeling? In fact, what did God told Oliver just a couple revelations ago? Did I not speak peace to your mind concerning the matter? That's Revelation 2. Peace in the mind. There's mind, heart, kind of feeling, thought, all rolled into one. Interesting. So you'll feel that it's right. On the other hand, if it's not right, you shall have no such feelings, but you shall have a stupor of thought, again, mind, heart, that shall cause you to forget the thing which is wrong. Therefore you cannot write that which is sacred, save it be given you from me. I do worry that we're out of the Goldilocks zone, as usual. And we're either doing it all on our own without his help, or we want him to do it all on his own without ours. At some point, we're going to have to learn to develop both sides. At some point, we're going to need to master the spirit of revelation, because there's a lot more revelation yet to come. We're only 9 sections in, and we've got eternal progression ahead.